Let's start with another video. In this video, we are going to talk about the unemployment. What is unemployment? Understanding causes, type, and measurements. Okay, I think it's time to go for a walk. Let's complete this video, and I will go. Well, it's morning around 5:28 in the morning. Yeah, I used to go for a walk, or can we say morning walk? That seemed to be done at least one time a day, daily, without any. I have made around 5 days streak now. I'm going to continue with this. Yeah. So let's continue with the topic. Okay. Term unemployment refer to the situation where person actively searches for employment but is unable to find work. Unemployment is considered to be a key measure of health of economy. Most frequently used measure of unemployment is unemployment rate. It is calculated by dividing number of unemployed people by number of people in the labor force. Many government offer unemployment insurance to certain unemployed individual to meet eligibility requirement. Unemployment occur when the worker want to work unable to find job. High rate of unemployment signal economic distress, while extremely low rate of unemployment signals overheated economy. Unemployment classified as a frictional, classical, structure, or institutional. Unemployed data is collected with published by government agencies in variety of ways. Many government offer unemployed individual a small amount of income through unemployed insurance as long as they meet certain requirements. How unemployment is a key of economic indicator because it signals the ability of a worker to obtain gainful work and contribute to the productive output of economy. Unemployed worker means less total economic production. The unemployed definition doesn't include people who leave the workforce for reasons such as retirement, higher education, disability. Sign of economic distress. Unemployed worker must maintain at least subsistence consumption during period of unemployment. This means that an economy with high unemployment, lower output without a proportional decline is need for basic consumption. High persistent employment can signal serious distress in economy and even lead to a social or political uphill. Sign of overheating economy. Low unemployment, on the other hand, means that economy is more likely to producing near or full capacity, maximizing output, drive wage growth, and raising living standard over time. However, extreme low unemployment can be cautionary sign of the overheating economy, inflationary pressure, and tight condition for a business and need to be additional worker categories of. While definition of unemployment is clear, economic divide unemployed to many different categories. The two broadcast categories are voluntary and involuntary unemployment. When unemployment is voluntary, it means that a person left their job willingly in search of the other employment. It is involuntary, it means the person was failed fired, laid off, or must now look for another job. Unemployed by the state is seasonally adjusted. Both voluntary and involuntary unemployment can be broken down into four types. Frictional unemployment. This type of unemployment is usually short-lived. It is at least problematic of economic standpoint. It occurs when people voluntarily change job. After person leaves a company, it naturally take time to find another job. Similarly, graduate starting to look for job to enter the workspace at a frictional unemployment. Frictional unemployment is a natural result of the fact that the market process take time to information can be costly. Searching for new job, recruiting new workers, and matching right worker or the right job all take time, effort. The result is frictional unemployment. Cyclic unemployment is a variation of number of unemployed workers over the course of economic up and down, such as those related to change in oil prices. Unemployment rises during recessionary period and decline during the period of economic growth. Preventing and elevating cyclical unemployment during recession is one of the key reasons for the study of economics and various policy tools. The government employ stimulate the economy, and downside of the structural out of unemployment comes about through a technological changes structure of the economy, which the technological change can lead to unemployment workforce no longer need. An example of such changes include replacement, retiring this work can be difficult, costly, time consuming, and displaced worker. Unemployment institutional Institutional unemployment result for long-term permanent institutional factor. The following can be contribute to the institutional government policies such as minimum wage floor, generous social benefit program, restrictive occupationalizing law, labor market phenomena such as efficiency wages and discriminatory hiring, labor market institutions such as high rate of unionization. How to measure unemployment in the United States? The government is uses survey, census count, and number of unemployment insurance claim to track unemployment. The U.S. Census conduct a monthly survey to current population. Survey on the behalf of Bureau of Labor Statistics to produce the primary estimate of the national employment. The survey has been done every month since 1940. The sample consists of 60,000 people eligible household that translate to about 110 people each month. The census changes a quarter of sample household each month, so no household represented for more than 4 consecutive months. This meant to extend the reliability of the estimate. Any variation of unemployment rate exists with different definition of who is unemployed, who is labor for. The BS commonly sits in UR3 unemployment rate defined as total employment percentage civilian. As an official unemployment, however, the definition does not include discouraged unemployed workers who are no longer for work. Other categories of unemployment include discouraged worker and part-time unemployed workers who want to work full-time but for economic reasons unable to do so. History of unemployment. All the US government began taking unemployment in 1940s. The highest rate of unemployment occurred during Great Depression when unemployment rose to 24.9 in 1993. Between 1931 and 1914, the unemployment rate remained about 14%, but subsequently dropped down to single digit. It remained there until 1980 when it climbed to about 80%. In 2009, during Great Recession, unemployment rose again to 10%. In April 2020, amid of COVID-19 pandemic, unemployment hit 14.8 as a result of 2000. The unemployment rate was 3.5, the slight drop of the previous month. What are the main causes of unemployment? There is number of reasons. These include recession, depression, technical improvement, job outsourcing, and voluntary. What are three type of unemployment? Today, economic point to be three main type of unemployment: fractional, structural, cyclic. Fractional employment is a result of voluntary employment transition within an economy. Fractional employment naturally occur even in growing, stable economy as a worker change. Structural unemployment can produce permanent disruption due to fundamental permanent change that occur in a structural economy. These changes are marginalize a group of workers. They include technological change, lack of relevant skill, job moving overseas to another country. Cyclic unemployment relate to loss of job that occur during change in business cycle. What are the strict definition of unemployment? The official unemployment definition come from U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, which state that people are classified as unemployment if they do not have job, have activity to look for work in prior 4 weeks, and currently available for work. The bottom line: unemployment is when an individual who not employed and seeking unemployment cannot find work. Unemployment is the key indicator of health of economy. Although unemployment rate represent a strong economy, while high employment represent a weak economy. Okay, that's it. How inflation and unemployment are related. The relationship between inflation and employment had traditionally been inverse correlation. However, this relationship is more complicated than it appears first glance. It is broken down in a number of occasions over the past 15 years. Since inflation and employment are some most closely monitored economic indicator, we dive into their relationship, how they affected overall economy. Labor supply and demand. When unemployment is high, the number of people looking for work significantly exceeds the number of jobs available. In other words, the supply of labor is greater than demand for it. Let's talk about wage inflation. The rate of changes in wage to proxy of inflation in economy with so many workers available. So little need to be higher wages. In terms of high unemployment, wages typically remain. In time of the low unemployment, the demand for labor of unemployees exceed the supply. In such A tighter labor market employers typically need to pay higher wages of attract employees, ultimately leading to rising of inflation. Over the years, economists have studied the relationship between unemployment and wage inflation as an overall inflation rate. The Phillips curve. Adolf Phillips curve, one of the first economists to present compelling evidence of the universal relationship between unemployment and wage inflation. Phillips studied the relation between unemployment and the rate of United Kingdom over a period of almost full century, and he discovered the later could explain two things: the level of unemployment, rate of change of unemployment. Philip hypothesized that when demand for labor is higher, there is few unemployed workers. Unemployed can be expected to be the range of quite rapidly. However, when demand for labor is low, the employment is high. Workers are reluctant and expect lower wages than prevailing rate. As a result, wage rate may falls very slowly. The second factor that affects the wage rate changes the rate of change in unemployment. If economy is booming, employer will bid more by grossly for worker, which means the demand for labor is increasing at fast rate. Percentage of employment decreasing, but then it would demand for labor were either not increasing, the percentage of employment is changing or increasing very low price. Since wages and salary of major input of custom companies rising will lead to higher price of product and service in economy, ultimately pushing the overall inflation rate higher. As a result, Phillips graphs the relationship between general price inflation and employment rather than wage inflation. The graph is known as today Phillips curve. You know that. Phillips curve implication: low inflation and full employment are the concentration corn stone of the monetary policy for the concentration cornerstones of the monetary policy for the modern central bank. For instance, U.S. Federal Reserve monetary policy objective are maximum unemployment, stable price, and modern long-term interest rate. The trade-off between inflation and employment led economists to use the Phillips curve to fine-tune monetary fiscal policy. Since a flip curve of the specific economy would show an explicit level of inflation for the specific rate of unemployment, however, it should be possible to aim a balance between a desired level of inflation and employment. The rate of change at Consumer Price Index or CPI is the rate of inflation or the indicator is price of US economy. Okay. Montrast Revitual in 1916s provided compelling proof of ability of political such as lower employment rates could be mentioned. And definitely, as long as higher inflation could be tolerate. However, in 1916, a curve of communist went to Montrast led by Milton Friedman and Edmund Phillips argued the Phillips curve does not apply over the long term. The content that over the long term the economy tend to be relevant. Natural rate is long term unemployment rate that observe once effect of short term cyclic factor has dissipated. The wages have adjusted to a level where supply and demand in the labor market are balanced. If workers accept rise, they will demand higher wages so that the real inflation edges are constant. In scenario where monetary or fiscal policy are to lower unemployment below the natural rate, the result increase in demand will increase from producer to raise price even faster. As inflation accelerates, worker may supply labor to the short term because higher wages leading to decline in employment rate. Relationship between 1970 and 1990s. CPI versus employment. In 2001, mid mild recession as a result of 1991 bull. Unemployment higher than roughly 6% while inflation below 2.5 in mid 90s. 2000, the unemployment fell. Inflation was steady around 1% to 2.5 during Great Recession. A rate of change of CPI fell dramatically as employment soared to almost 10%. From 2012 to 2050, we can see that the inverse correlation broke down, where inflation and unemployment moved to tandem. From 2016 to 2000, unemployment steadily declined to 50 years low. In year 2020, unemployment soared to almost 15% as a result of economic impact of global pandemic caused by foreign. A decrease is trailing through. In January 2001, unemployment rate fell by zero point 0.4 percentage point or to 6.3. Although this measure the lower than high reached in April 2020, it remained well above the pre-pandemic level. During this time, inflation remained relatively unaffected, although prices began to rise sharply. Starting in February of 2020, these rises were primarily due to the simultaneous supply stock of clomic only, although likely the increase as a result of shortage labor of essential current environment wages. All we can say that almost 15 had been passed in this video. We'll see you next time. Let's complete this topic, then I will stop what already has gone. The bottom line inverse correlation between inflation or deficit in Phillips curve are well in short term, especially when inflation is fairly constant in 1960. Okay, that's it.